When we execute a normal power loop, we open up our arm for a full swing to generate power. But when I need to ensure the ball lands, like at 9 to 9 or a critical point, the backswing should stop near your knee. Don't pull it back any further. I guarantee you'll make the shot this way. Today, let's focus on why amateurs hit the net so often when looping a backspin ball with their forehand. First, let me ask you, when you loop the ball, can you feel the synchronization of power? Let's first understand why you're not able to synchronize your power. Is this making solid contact? How about these two? The ball is dropping due to backspin, while your swing path is from back to forwards and upwards. When looping against backspin, I start my backswing down by my shin and pull the racket back behind my hip before swinging. Do you remember when I had you practice looping while sitting on a stool? Have you practiced that? The problem with synchronizing power comes from your center of gravity. You aren't getting your body and legs low enough. Think of it like this: the ball has 100 units of spin. If you lower your legs, it feels like 80. If you also drop your shoulder, it feels like only 60. We need to intercept the ball. A backspin ball has a downward trajectory, so I must get much lower than the ball and intercept it with a forward-upward motion. That's how you synchronize your power. Many players swing upwards, but with a high center of gravity, you inevitably go forward first, then up. By the time you start going forward, the ball has already hit the net. Two solutions: a lunge stance and dropping your shoulder. These two things will ensure you can synchronize your power with the ball. Next, let's talk about what your hand should be doing. Between these two motions, which one is correct? The first. The second. The second one is correct. The first motion is finishing the backswing and then just pushing flatly against the ball. The second one is brushing against the ball to create friction. The biggest difference between brushing and pushing is the path of your arm. Often, your power direction is a straight push, whereas my motion is curved. This is how you brush the ball and lift it up. One uses the whole arm to generate power. The other uses the racket head to generate friction. Arm-based power is when the entire upper arm and forearm push forward together. Racket head power is about rotating the racket head as the ball arrives. Open up your forearm and then snap it back in. That's how you create friction. You are hitting through the ball with your arm. We are using the racket head to spin it. See how I use the racket head to spin it? Is my upper arm or my elbow doing the work? No, right? The racket head drops, and then traces an arc. This is the very reason why your loops are inconsistent. You must rotate the racket head. If you don't, your racket face can't create enough friction. Next time, try to get this feel. Stand straight, bring your right hand back behind your hip, and swing out towards the front right of your hip. Then, snap your forearm in and finish with your hand stopping right between your eyebrows. That is one complete stroke. Don't fully straighten your arm. 1, 2, 3. When you loop, this should be the trajectory at the point of contact. It's not the typical amateur three-step motion: backswing, push, and lift the upper arm. Start the backswing behind your hip, wrap around the ball, and finish the stroke. That will give you the correct trajectory. Think of it as hugging the ball to loop it, not pushing it. This will make the loop much easier. Next, I'll teach you 3 methods to avoid failing this loop during a match. First, your backswing must be lower than the table. As long as it's lower, you're good. Change your swing path from here to this direction. If your backswing is level with or higher than the table, trying to swing upwards is ineffective. To lift the ball, you must get lower than it. With a low backswing, you can still clear the net even if you stop your swing early. When you feel your opponent has added heavy spin, you must get lower than the table to properly synchronize with the ball. That's the first key point. Second key point: keep your backswing compact. When we execute a normal power loop, we open up our arm for a full swing to generate power. But when I need to ensure the ball lands, like at 9 to 9 or a critical point, the backswing should stop near your knee. Don't pull it back any further. I guarantee you'll make the shot this way. Because the shorter your backswing, the easier it is to lift the ball. This is about accelerating through the second half of the swing. The longer your backswing, the higher the demand on your contact point and timing. So, the second key point is to have no part of your backswing behind your body. Always make contact from a position near your knee for maximum consistency. When I'm nervous in a match or playing a key point, I use this as a reference. This prevents me from being jammed by the ball and makes it easier to lift it. This is especially true when moving. If your opponent suddenly pushes long, this technique makes the loop easy. If you swing from your hip, the chance of hitting the net is still very high. The third key point involves your fingers and the racket head. If your racket head finishes pointing sideways or upward, you'll likely hit the net. After you finish the loop, the racket head should point at your opponent. Don't finish like this. You're just pointing at the ceiling. When you finish, have the racket head point towards your opponent. With this finish, you will rarely make a mistake. We are solving the problem of hitting the net, not teaching you to hit down the line. Most amateur players stop their swing just short, missing that last bit of motion needed to lift the ball. Don't stop your swing here. You need to follow through and rotate. It's that little bit extra that creates the arc on the ball. So, remember, when you loop, always finish with your racket head pointing at your opponent. Complete the brushing motion. Your consistency will definitely improve a lot this way. For all shots, the most crucial element is acceleration. This means your backswing should be deliberately slow and relaxed, creating the biggest possible difference in speed right at the moment of contact. I'll loop 3 balls for you. See if you can spot which one has a change in speed. The first. The second. The third. The second ball had the most spin because it had the greatest acceleration. This is why amateurs block loops long or return them into the net. You can't see this subtle burst of speed. A constant speed, whether fast or slow, doesn't work. A constant fast swing only helps you hit the ball earlier, and a constant slow swing just gets you jammed. Only a slow to fast motion truly creates acceleration. When we loop, I'm not saying you should be slow, because that can get you jammed. Instead, we need to find a relaxed feeling. Think of it as using 30% grip pressure during the backswing. Then, upon contact, have a clear acceleration and see if you can lift the ball. The backswing shouldn't be too slow, but it must be relaxed. Relaxed backswing, then accelerate. You must exaggerate this feeling in your practice. Don't accelerate during the backswing. It should be relaxed. Acceleration starts on the forward swing. So, how do we generate that speed? The first key is your hip. If you keep your body like this, there's no acceleration. The motion is just one constant speed. But when you drive your hip forward as you loop, you'll be able to hit a powerful power loop. When your body generates power from the core in a compact burst, it's like a quick jab. Much more powerful than a wide, swinging punch. Your hip must absolutely drive forward. This will increase your overall swing speed. Second key point, when looping, how can we make our swing even faster? Use your forearm and upper arm separately. As the ball comes, you need to make your arm feel like a whip. Your forearm and upper arm must form a distinct angle. Don't worry about whether the ball lands on the table at first. Just find this feeling. Then, once you have that, control your motion and make it more compact, and you'll be able to loop it. First, find that whipping sensation. Once you have it, you just contain the motion and make it smaller, and the ball will go over. At the point of contact, you need to find that arm whipping feeling. Don't let the whole arm move as one unit. Generate power like this, making your arm swing faster. You can practice this first with a shadow swing, then with a racket, and then by adding your hip. That explosive feeling will come out. You should start by practicing the feeling with shadow swings. If you try with a ball right away and can't make it, you'll lose confidence. So, establish the feeling first. Don't practice by dropping and hitting the ball yourself. Since the ball doesn't have any forward momentum, this habit can easily mess up your form during a real match.